Some more comment now and talk about this report and its findings with someone at the very heart of the growing tensions. Asghar Soltanieh is the Iranian ambassador to the International Atomic Energy Agency. He's joining us now, very pleased to say, on the line from Vienna. Ambassador, thanks ever so much for coming on to RT International. What's striking about this report is how strongly it accuses Iran, your country, of pursuing a nuclear weapons programme. Considering how measured the IAEA normally is and has been in the past, isn't that already a credible argument that it is changing its tone?
Well, first of all, this report is not professional and not balanced, and is with political motivation and under political pressure by US and a couple of the other Western countries. This report has an annex of 15 pages of the allegations and the materials which were handed over only last week to us in a confidential manner, and therefore this release and release into public is against the principle of confidentiality. Therefore, that is the reason that the distinguished ambassador of Russia and China made the démarche to Director General not to do this mistake, which is against the spirit and letter of a statute. And yesterday, the non-aligned movement, even it means more than 100 countries, also decided, and the Troika ambassador of non-aligned movement met Director General and, in fact, warned him not to distribute. But he totally ignored the call by over 100 countries of member states, and he distributed, which is in fact creating this tension. But whatever it is in this material and annex to this report has nothing in principle new, and I think that perhaps it is good that it is now in the access of the people of the world to see that all these noises that they made it is nothing in it. There is no evidence. And I want to tell that no material document have been delivered to Iran on the allegation for the last 6 years, and that is what it was criticized by Al-Baradei, and Mr. Al-Baradei clearly reported several times that there was no authenticity about American allegation.
Ambassador, okay, this might be taking it back to brass tacks, but I just want to get something straight before we continue with this interview. Are you saying you do not trust the IAEA?
Well, no, please make a distinction. IAEA means member states and Secretariat. And Secretariat and member states, we are working closely for over the last 8 years. We have had over 4,000 man-day inspection in Iran and over 100 snapshot visits. And all of these agency has, in fact, reflected continuously. Even Mr. Amano reported on Mr. Al-Baradei that they have found no evidence of diversion, even of 1 gram of uranium, to military purpose.
Okay.
The only thing is about the allegations. Of course, we don't trust Director General approach is the right one. He has violated the principle of confidentiality. Right, but in fact, and that is why he is questioned, in fact, the approach.
But, Ambassador, the information, however it got there, is out there. The accusations are clandestine procurement of equipment and design information needed to make arms like this, high explosives testing and detonator development to set off a nuclear charge. Is allegedly a satellite picture of a building at Parchin near Tehran, a metal building. Whether it's correct or not, I don't know. This is what's in the report. Computer modelling of a core of a nuclear warhead. Preparatory work for nuclear weapons tests. These are the allegations in that report. They must concern you, surely.
No, I have had, in fact, in the past, roughly 4 years ago, we had about 100 hours meeting with the inspectors about this sort of allegations. Of course, they didn't deliver the document because Americans prevented the agency to do it. They showed in a PowerPoint presentation, and I was chairing the meeting. In all those meetings, and finally 117 pages, we proved that all these allegations are baseless and fabricated, and there is none of this material they showed us had any classification. How can you ever imagine that they are giving the materials about communications between different ministries, about missiles, Shahab 3, all these communications that they have made fabrication, none of them had any classification. And this is what even the inspectors were shocked. And now I'm telling you, whatever is distributed by Mr. Amano yesterday, they have not had delivered any sort of document or evidence to prove it. Okay. And I call through you, they have to bring evidence, reliable evidence, to the whole world. All these allegations, we are categorically rejecting this allegation. We are all for peaceful use of nuclear energy, and we are against nuclear weapon for peaceful purposes. We are against nuclear weapon, of course. And last week there was a resolution in United Nations proposed by Iran, and only United States, Israel, and European voted against it. It means that they do not have genuine call for a world free from nuclear weapon. We are for nuclear energy for peaceful purposes, of course.
So I know your point of view there. I take in absolutely your point of view. But can you also see that some of the technologies that are used for peaceful nuclear energy production could conceivably, if you wanted to, maybe be converted for more sinister means in the future, and this is a worry?
It shouldn't be a worry. Mr. al-Baradei once said a very good point. He said nobody could read the intention, and agency does not have any monitor to monitor the intention of the others. Of course, many countries like Japan or any other countries which have tons of plutonium and high enriched uranium, they could be accused of going to nuclear weapon. In fact, all our nuclear activities, particularly enrichment, are under the continuous inspection and 24 hours cameras. And in fact, nuclear fission could be used for reactor, and it could be for nuclear weapon. It doesn't mean that any country has a reactor. 400 reactors all over the world are for the weapon purposes. The important thing is that we are party to NPT. All activities are under the IAEA safeguard, and we have had even hundreds of snapshot, short visit, unannounced inspection. This is great. And we 2 months ago invited Deputy Director General of IAEA to even visit the R&D of centrifuge enrichment. Can you give me any example that any inspector have been permitted to any centrifuge enrichment in any other part of the world?
So to cut to the chase, you're telling me tonight the IAEA is completely happy with the way your country is conducting its nuclear activities?
Yes, please read the 10 pages of the report of Director General, which says that all activities, including enrichment, are continuously under the safeguard inspection. The only second part, which is the annex, is about the American allegation. And of course, Mr. Amano is just repeating that we should, in fact, deal with this allegation without giving the documents, because Americans are not permitting him to deliver to us.
Ambassador,
and this is a situation.
Of course, this news line today, this piece of paper I'm holding, this report that's been leaked out, though, it's a gift for Israel, isn't it? It's great PR for them to bang their drum. It's emboldening them to say, maybe they want to make a preemptive strike.
Well, of course, nobody dared to attack Iran, because 8 years of imposed war by Saddam, which supported by United States of others, proved that Iranian nation will protect the country at any price. But we are the people with 1,000 years of civilization, and we invite all over the world for dialogue and discussion and civilized approach. That is why in the IAEA I invite all countries, whoever have any question, come and we remove ambiguities within the framework of IAEA. Stop these childish allegations and sanctions. None of these sanctions are affected our nuclear activities because we are continuing indigenously, in fact, making our own centrifuge parts, and will continue without any interruption. But the only thing is the Western countries to learn a lesson that if they tell Iranian nation, you must, the answer is no with a loud voice. If they ask Iranian nation, please do something, we will show maximum flexibility, as we have done so. And even sometimes we have gone beyond our legal obligation, and we have cooperated with the IAEA. That is the key to the solution for all problems that Western countries have with Iran.
Okay, Asghar Soltanieh, Iranian ambassador to the UN's nuclear watchdog, the International Atomic Energy Agency. Thank you for taking the time to be on RT.
My pleasure.